And welcome everybody at home to our racing segment this Sunday, and what a great day that was for racing. Vintage Crop winning the Melbourne Cup. It was a great day for making the Melbourne Cup international, and a man that's known internationally all over the world in racing is John Tapp. Morning, John.
G'day, Simon. Yes, that horse contested the Irish St Ledger overnight and finished fourth behind Strategic Choice. I don't know whether there were any excuses or not, but it sounds like a good enough run to stay on track to bring him here for another crack at our Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, well, the news down here is he's in doubt. I think they expected him to run a far more forward race in that one, so it'll be interesting just to see how they assess it now and see exactly what they want to do.
Simon, is it my imagination, or are you sporting a black eye?
Well, John, I am sporting a black eye, to be brutally honest with you. We had it Friday night. We had a great night down at the St Kilda Footy Club. It was a fundraiser for the club, and it was ex-St Kilda players played an all-stars team. And, mate, I zigged instead of zagged, and I copped one. And I may say I played very wide for the rest of the night.
Yeah, well, that's your story, and you're sticking to it.
And I certainly am. Mate, going away from the international racing, there was some great racing in Sydney yesterday in the T-Rose Stakes, 1,500 metres, and Clary Connors has greeted the judge.
Yeah, Clary can't help himself when the big races start. He's always got a handy one, often a filly, and she'll be to Melbourne, Pontal Lass, and I'll be surprised if she's not there on Oaks Day. OK, pick him up on the turn into the straight, and Seattle Gem is the leader. Now, Pontal Lass has got the white cap just behind that leader. Aaron Kennedy dives to the inside and flattens Ginzano, and poor little Aaron has incurred a 5-meeting suspension. Coming down the outside, Zarbil Star, and the black with the white cap is Nightclub. Pontal Lass, who's a real tail swisher, is charging to the line, finishing far the better, and scored by a half length to Zabil Star, with Nightclub third, and Aaron Kennedy's out for 5 meetings, which is rotten luck at this time of year.
Yeah, rotten luck, but I really, you've got to give her credit for that win. Zabil Star really looked like she was going to clean them up, but she really fought back, didn't she?
Yeah, she's a good filly, Simon. Pontal Lass, big, strong filly by marauding. She'll cop plenty of racing, and you know she's even better on a firmer track.
Now, the Hill Stakes yesterday was the start of a Gay Waterhouse double.
Yeah, Gay had another super day. They might as well put a name on the name plates for most of the trophies during the Spring Carnival, the way she's going at the moment. Stony Bay's almost invincible at Rose Hill. He loves the joint, and he's well clear turning for home over Flying Spur in second place with the red cap. Few Are Chosen is weakening. Oppressor closer to the inside in yellow colours, and here comes Joie Denise, Simon, down the outside. This mare is getting ready for the Metropolitan and the Melbourne Cup. She's just getting fit now, but Stony Bay, who had it all his own way in front, ran out an easy winner over Flying Spur, and Joie Denise third. The winner has now won about 1.7 million. He cost 120,000 when they bought him from New Zealand.
Yeah, Stony Bay, the one thing was a query yesterday. I know people were talking at Caulfield about his query in the wet, but obviously handled it pretty well.
Yeah, Shane said he dipped a couple of times in the back straight, and he is really better on top of the ground.
I think another run in that from the Freedman camp, Flying Spur, he looked like a couple of times he was going to go down. The rest of the field were going to run over the top of him, but, by gee, he's got a big heart, hasn't he?
Yeah, and better without the blinkers, Simon. He settled much better.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a hell of a lot more from him over the spring. And the second lot of the Waterhouse winners yesterday in the Shannon Quality Sprint By.
Yep, this was a Group 3 race. Sprint By might have had conditions to suit him, but you can't do any more than this. Just have a look at this for an easy win. Shane Scriven has a good slew over the shoulder as they turn for home. The horse is going a working gallop in front, led by about 4 lengths to My Diamond Rouge. Churnganoff on the outside, then Don Carlos, Pop's Dream and Bruego. But Sprint By, with 56.5 under the conditions, is just cantering down to the line and scores by 3 lengths to Churnganoff, and My Diamond Rouge was third. He's in the Epsom, Simon, with 3 kilos less than he had yesterday.
Yes, I think the horse is a good one, and I must admit it hurt me a little yesterday. I had my heart earned on Churnganoff, and when Shane Scriven was having a bit of a peek over his shoulder, I knew I was out of the race at about the 500, which is a touch disappointing, John, isn't it, when you're on the punt?
What about Shane Scriven, Simon? Nobody in Australia rides any better. Pity he's not 3 or 4 kilos lighter.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll move south, John, and the Fee and Stakes was our feature race down here yesterday, and Beau Art's come from all the way over from Perth, and David Taggart, who just seems to keep winning good races.
Yep, this is a 4-year-old mare. The Melbourne Cup is her mission, and we pick him up on the turn. This is a terrific race. Island Morn on the inside. Snapper's there with the white breastplate. Further out, Station Hand and Toil. Boart wide out in black colours. Wider still in red colours, Count Shivers. Now watch Mick Dittman come through near the inside in the pink, and watch his whip as it flies through the air. Did it cost him the race? Probably did. Only a nose in it. Boart got there by a nose over Shaskay, and Count Shivers on the extreme outside in the red colours, a very good third.
Yeah, the two runs to watch, I think, are Shaskay and especially Count Shivers. I think from a cup trialling point of view, Count Shivers' run was an absolute fantastic effort. First up over here this time. Now, the anniversary sprint yesterday, Sequalo, 2-1 he got out to. I thought that was pretty generous odds for a class sprinter.
This was his 9th win from 23 starts, and he must be close to the $500,000 mark in prize money. Turning for home, Grand Bay, a clear-cut leader. Here's Sequalo in the royal blue colours going after him. Golden Rule further out. Sublimate in blue, wide on the track, and the all-white colours are on Ringside Lady. Norman Weymouth, hard at work, drives Sequalo to the lead over Grand Bay, Sublimate and Ringside Lady, and Sequalo makes it win number 9 over Grand Bay. Sublimate a good third.
Well, Grand Bay, a fantastic effort at Sandown last start, over 1,000 metres, and yesterday really had to be a top horse to knock him off, didn't it? He was just a bit strong in the finish, Sequalo.
Yep, he's, I imagine he'll contest all of the big sprints during the Spring Carnival, Simon. He might snare one of those Group 1s, eh?
And I think yesterday we saw something that'll win nearly all the big fillies races. Brackenbank yesterday in the Champagne Stakes, just unstoppable, she looks like.
Yes, she certainly appears to be a stayer in the making, and I think Greg Hall is looking forward to the longer races. Millrich in the yellow cap stopped as if shot when they turned for home, headed by Street Talk. Now here's Brackenbank, a daughter of Sir Tristram, with Greg Hall wielding the persuader. The Sydney filly Seeker coming right down the outside, but Brackenbank hits the lead close to home, and it's a grinding win. She'll stay for sure. Seeker second, Street Talk third, and if you're wondering what that one is in the white blinkers, the George Marconi colours rattling home. Sweet Delight was a good run too.
It certainly was. Brackenbank to be winning sprint races like this, and they believe she can stay. I think we've got something that's right out of the box here. I think she's going to be something very, very special.
Well, Simon, there's only one other horse that we haven't highlighted so far today, but we left it out deliberately because Kenny Callender's going to talk about that horse right now.
Thanks, John. Well, Stony Bay in Sydney and Boart in Melbourne won the main races yesterday, but I thought the most impressive winner was a horse called Buzz Off. And he's got a chance to win $500,000, or the winner's percentage of $500,000, by coming to Sydney for the Epsom Handicap. I think he's got the race at his mercy, but Connection seem to think that they'd rather wait for the Caulfield Cup. Well, he might stay 2,400 metres and he might not, but he can certainly run 1,600 metres, as he proved winning over 1,400 at Randwick last start and 1,600 at Caulfield yesterday. I think Buzz Off is a very, very good horse, and he's even got a little bit more on his side because he's beaten the handicapper in the Epsom with only 49.5. The only hurdle is he's got to win one of the lead-up races. Well, he's good enough to do that anyway. I think if he runs in the Epsom, he's going to take a heck of a lot of beating. As far as the other good horses were concerned, I thought Octagonal was the most impressive winner in Sydney. Melbourne, here he comes. And down in Melbourne, I was pretty much taken by the filly Brackenbank. The ride of the day, well, perhaps Shane Scriven up here in Sydney on Sword. What a ride it was. The run of the day, as I said, Octagonal or Buzz Off if you're at Caulfield. Thanks, John.
Good, Ken. That's Kenny's Epsom tip, Buzz Off. OK, Simon, back to you, and don't you give any more cheek to Mrs O'Donnell.
I certainly won't. And Johnny, I won't see you next week. No Sunday scoreboard next week. The Rugby League takes pride of place over us, but we'll see you the week after.
Gee, wouldn't you think they'd get their priorities straight?
In our opinion, yes. In their opinion, no.
OK, mate.
Good to see you, John.
See you.
And there's plenty more to come on Sunday scoreboard, including Plays of the Week.